Hello and welcome to the FSF PopCast. This is a special edition of our show. So this is we are special. My mommy said I was special. But we are at the end of 2024, and we thought every year we've done a kind of a look back and our highlights of the year. And we thought this year we change it up a little bit. This year we would do a very special episode called Get to Know Your Nerds. So
that's us. We're the nerds.
That's us. We are the nerds. That is exactly right.
Family Feud game show music now.
I do enjoy the meme of Rainbow D&D nerds is an accurate description of most of my friends.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to sit down. We're going to have some questions put up on the screen. We're all going to answer them and just have a fun, nerdy conversation. And whether we want to or not, we've all agreed to be here, and we're all going to be part of the questioning.
Fun, dang it!
Exactly. You're going to have fun, and you're going to like it. So,
we'll make all people, Tim, starting off with whether we wanted it or not.
Just saying. But just want to say thank you to our show partners. The podcast is not possible without the help from Bones Coffee. If you go to FSF Podcast, if you go to there and you look at our brands, you'll be able to find Bones Coffee, and you click on there. Use code FSF Popcast, and when you check out, you'll get 10% off. Or go to bonescoffee.com. You can do it that way as well. Also, TCT, where fandom meets fashion. Eddie AI. Because sometimes you need help with your editing. I know we do, and they help us with our shorts and our reels and our tiki-takis and all those kind of fun things. And, of course, Level Up Lightsabers, because Master Allen said that his lightsabers are better than a stick, and by golly and by gosh, he's absolutely correct.
Mine hasn't broken all the sticks I've ever used.
I do have a stick right here, and can confirm that the lightsaber is much better than this.
Is that just a bamboo stake?
Yes.
Why do you have bamboo? That's not one of the 6 questions.
Because I make fun LARP weapons.
It's a crafting sword.
Did you not see the giant sword that I made? Did I not send it to everyone?
You did share the giant sword. I just didn't think about bamboo stakes being used.
Oh no, I made another giant sword. Here
you did not share that one.
Here's the new one. The one in my left hand is the old giant sword, and the one in my right hand is the new giant sword. It's like a foot taller.
So there's giant sword and gianter sword.
I have phones.
Yes. One is just a great sword. The other one is like a great sword for Monster Hunter.
I believe you might need to share screen, Tim.
That looks like something out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen people use like a buster sword.
That's what it was.
Again, get to know your nerds. I am a nerd. That thing is 6'2". I am not
as tall as me. So yeah, that sword is as tall as me. Okay, fantastic.
It's big.
All right.
See, you say that you plays and you got the 6'2" sword, and I'm over here sewing elastic straps onto tiny little red shoes that I had to paint red and sparkly because they didn't have any red sparkly shoes.
For our daughter's Princess Peach cosplay for the weekend.
Oh, I thought... I saw red and immediately thought Dorothy.
Honestly, yeah, I did too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that Princess Peach wore red shoes until the kid mentioned it, and I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh, she does, doesn't she?
But now she can also audition for Dorothy the next time there's a production nearby.
Didn't Annie from, doesn't Annie wear red shoes?
No, she has red hair.
No, she also has red shoes.
I think she has red shoes.
I might be getting it confused with Shirley Temple.
But she had the red and white dress. Doesn't she have the red shoes to match the dress?
Might.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's been forever since I watched Annie, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We are so on topic right now.
It's been at least 35 years since I've seen it.
We had a topic.
And if anybody's wondering, this is how most of our discussions go. So this is we're really not doing too bad. We're only 5 minutes in. We could have done much worse with the timing.
Is this worse or better?
Yes.
It's definitely better. It's better than before. All right, so here's the first question. We'll start with John, and we'll work our way around the horn. Here we go. First question. What's your favorite fandom? Why?
Okay, so are we talking about get started? Are we talking about the actual franchise, or are we talking about the fandom around it?
Never the fandom around it. That is never the answer.
The fandom around it.
Because,
well,
I'm going to do that one too, actually. Because the answer to both is Star Trek.
Okay.
Because Star Trek, in the story, is humans trying to be their best selves. You know, they still have base instincts. They're still fundamentally flawed human beings, but they're trying to rise above that and make the world a better place. Leave the world better than they left it. Sort of.
Except for Janeway.
Left it?
Yeah.
Janeway
Leave each place better than it was when you found it.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
And yeah, Janeway just wants coffee.
Yeah, the coffee.
Janeway is the only one not looking for the betterment of humanity. She's just looking for coffee.
That Nebula has coffee in it. I know it.
She's looking for the better brew. Which Nebula has the better brew?
But also the actual community around it is pretty cool, because they try to reflect those ideals with the, hey, everybody can be here for their own reasons. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, it doesn't matter if you got into it with the original series and Kirk, doesn't matter if it's Lower Decks, whatever. They like you there. I like Trek.
Yeah, there's always a subsection of the Trek fandom that you're just like, oh, this is home now. Deep Space Nine?
Yeah.
There you go. Voyager? There you go. Even Enterprise? Even people like that one.
I like how you laugh when you say it. You're like, even Enterprise?
It is kind of the stepchild.
Of all of Star Trek,
you chose that one.
Admit, like, Star Trek Enterprise is probably the worst. That doesn't make it bad, but it's definitely the worst.
Yeah, and that's putting it next to the original series with Kirk. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah. But if that's what got you into it and that's what you like, that's still cool. Because the values are still in that branch of the franchise. And that's awesome.
I feel like there's other fandoms that could learn from this.
But DS9 is by far the best series ever on television.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I am a Voyager fan, and I will still agree that Deep Space Nine is the best version of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't run away from the problems every.
Well, I haven't.
They had to deal with it.
Yeah, they're the ones that are on the stationary space station, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's a Babylon 5 ripoff, but that's another thing.
Guess who hasn't watched a ton of Deep Space Nine?
Guess who needs to remedy that?
I'm working on it. I'm working my way through yet. I'm still in.
Don't
Next
make
Generation.
me Armin. I will call Armin.
Don't call Armin. He intimidated Tim with his intelligence.
That doesn't take
that's
much,
not very
yes,
difficult.
It did.
So that's my answer.
All right, very cool. Ben, what's your favorite fandom and why?
Oh no.
You had all that time that John was talking that you could have figured it out.
No, that's like asking like which limb do I prefer?
Who's your favorite?
Right hand, because I learned that my left hand is really stupid this last year.
Mine too.
I think I'm gonna have to go with Tolkien. Just to not immediately say Star Trek.
Sorry.
But a huge majority of what we consider like classical fantasy didn't exist until The Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, everything Tolkien has worked on, everything of like, I mean, prior to The Lord of the Rings, elves were like Santa's elves. They were little tiny nothing that would like, elf on a shelf kind of vibes. Mm-hmm. Now when you think elf, you think long flowing hair, infinitely beautiful and infinitely living, and like ages of wisdom and things like that. Mm-hmm. That really didn't exist outside of either Celtic folklore or Tolkien. Yeah. Now that's the bog standard, like this is what elves are.
Yeah.
So there's that. And I mean, the community itself, there's obviously hot spots, there's debates, there's people being like, no, you're wrong, as every community has. But for the vast majority of it, I mean, everybody who is in that fandom, you can talk for hours on end about the most minute details. And they'll just go on and on and on forever.
Can't remember your daughter's birthday, but you remember. What?
I get in trouble for remembering things out of books, but not remembering things out of actual life. Like, somebody's cousin once removed, but, Gimli's family line.
Oh, I could tell you, oh God, probably like at least 7 generations of Bagginses before I could tell you like actual, like important historical events.
Yeah.
Those seem overrated anyway.
No. Oh, and another thing about the Tolkien fandom is just they are the most aesthetically pleasing fandom ever. Because you have all the sci-fi stuff of Trek and wars and things like that. With Tolkien's fandom, it's studies. It's sitting in like a cozy fireplace room with your pipe and your book, and you are reading or discussing or even just talking out loud to other people or even just to the book itself. And just everything about it's fantastic. So,
it really is.
Okay.
Although,
all right.
One thing you mentioned in that was the Elf on a Shelf.
Oh boy.
Now, I need to ask, who thought it was a good idea to have tens of thousands of people, if not millions of people, openly inviting Fae into their homes?
The Fae?
Well, yes, but like...
Clearly it's Fae propaganda to get them invited into their homes.
Nobody seems to know when this started, why this started, how it started. It just happened. So somebody did something. And we're all screwed because of it.
Some trickster, like Archfey, came up with the concept of Elf on a Shelf, and now chaos.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
We're doomed.
All right, Kathleen.
Fae history to understand what you guys are talking about.
Kathleen?
Kathleen, so I feel like this is, I'm going to say it's a trick question, but it's not. Because there's going to be the, well, why didn't you say that one? That's the one you grew up on. Why? But...
Is that because I stole it?
No.
Okay.
No, actually no. I'm going to actually also have to agree with Ben and go Tolkien. Like, that is my comfort zone. That is I want to be a hobbit living in the Shire and I mean, sure, I'm not like super read all the books and gone down all the lore.
You weren't writing your notes in high school in Elvish?
No.
Okay. Just me?
I actually did learn the entire Dwarven alphabet.
Yeah, that was
Elves
easy.
never intrigued me as much as the dwarves did.
Anyway, sorry.
See, I think the elves intrigued me because I was the super tall girl, and it was hey, there's a character that's not 5 feet tall. Look at that. It's a normal sized person. Which is funny because then I say that I want to live in the Shire. But
Who doesn't want to live in the Shire?
right?
That's all any of us want.
The Shire is really cool.
Is it bad if I say that I love the entire Tolkien fandom just because of potatoes? Like
Potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I actually made that reference to someone and they had no idea what I was talking about.
Oh,
I felt genuinely insulted that they did not know what that was.
But not
That's when you question your relationship with them.
They were a coworker. There is no relationship. I made a joke and it hit a brick wall, and I'm like, well, that's the end of that discussion.
Well, there's definitely no relationship now.
Yeah. So I used to work for a propane company.
Usual propane
Where
and
you
propane
yep.
accessories.
And customers would come in and make that joke, and I would play along with it. And half of my coworkers had no idea what was going on. It's like,
Really?
honestly, guys, this show's been on the air for like 10 years, and you
double check something now.
you have no idea what it is?
Hang on. You say 10 years. How long ago was this?
I don't remember. I'm pulling numbers out of my butt now.
Are your
I'm pretty
budgets
sure-
the same size, though?
Thought I smelled something.
I'm pretty sure King of the Hill has been off, like canceled, for 10 years.
So let's see here.
Like, they still do reruns, but the fact that they're doing a new series of King of the Hill where everyone's like 20 years older.
I stopped working for that company in 2013. So, yeah, I'm old.
That was only 11 years ago.
But I'm old.
Yes.
So, all right. Tim, what's your favorite fandom and why?
Favorite fandom?
My favorite fandom? I know that you guys all have lots of guesses, but I'm really going to have to go with the Fast and Furious.
What?
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's our show, everyone. Love you all. Have a wonderful rest of the night. We're never talking to
him again.
Okay, but
Tim, you can just delete me from any future material.
Okay, but you need more suspension of disbelief for that than you do Space Wizards. So,
it's about family and cars and throwing a car through a meteor to save the planet. Because why not?
Yeah. No.
Make fun of Tim's fandom.
No. But for realsies,
it's Sharknado.
It's definitely Sharknado. Don't mock
Sharknado. That's actually coming soon.
That's actually a pretty entertaining series once you get past the campiness of it. But no, obviously it's Star Wars. I know, shocked and appalled all the way around.
I never knew that you liked Star Wars. How? I've known you for 8 years. 8 years.
I know, right? It's news to everybody at this point. But no, Star Wars has always been that comfort space for me. It's always been the spot where I feel like I'm, when it's been a tough day and I just want to watch something to relax me and calm me, I go watch Star Wars. It's always been that thing. And, it started when I was a kid with the original trilogy. It's grown into the prequel trilogy, the sequel trilogy now, all the TV shows. It's just Star Wars has always been a very big deal to me.
We're obviously for children.
Hey, Tim has allowed himself to grow past that.
Allow me to continue mocking him for the rest of my life, though. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's never going to die, but that's okay. And in some ways, I deserve that, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, it's Star Wars animation is top tier. It's some of the best of the series. The whole canon is in the animated lore. I mean, not lore, but the stories of Clone Wars and Rebels are, I still can't watch season 7 or season 4 of Clone Wars or season 4 of Rebels without tearing up.
And now they've actually written you into Star Wars. You're Neil.
What?
You're 100% Neil.
I'll take Neil. You're my boy, Blue.
It is actually kind of funny that for the longest time, like the prequels were seen as just this utter garbage. But if it wasn't for like the animated shows, like it would have maintained that, I guess, mentality. Mm-hmm. It is through the Clone Wars and even through Rebels that the prequels became as beloved as they are.
Because Star Wars is
more Star Wars. Yeah. So, but for me, that's the reason why. It's just Star Wars has always been that safe space, that warm, comfy, cozy space to go when life around me was hectic and crazy. What's that?
You used to talk about your wife like that.
I still talk a lot about my wife like that.
Yeah.
So this is just a different thing. This is, something for me on my own. She's not a big Star Wars fan or sci-fi fan, but for me, this is my safety safe. So, all right.
Oh yeah.
Question 2.
I can. Wait, before we skip on to the next one, I can wholeheartedly agree with just obviously loving Star Wars because everyone loves Star Wars except for the fans, in which they hate Star Wars, but they love Star Wars.
And I feel like all of us, even with I'm going to say that this is my favorite fandom. It's also I this is my favorite fandom, but also Star Wars is my favorite fandom, and Star Trek is my favorite fandom, and Lord of the Rings is my favorite fandom, and Doctor Who is my favorite fandom, and Marvel is, and DC, and just give me all of the nerd stuff, please.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I have so many memories just with Star Wars, just over the pandemic itself. Because Mimi, my wife, she saw Star Wars, wasn't a huge fan of it, didn't know that there was a TV show. We watched all of it. We watched the entirety of the Clone Wars, and it all coincided with season 7 coming out. And I have so many wonderful memories and videos of like the first time Maul came back and just Mimi's reaction of just being like, why is the title red? What's happening? Why is it red?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Why does he have spider legs?
Right?
Oh god, that was so creepy.
I loved it. He gave me something.
It just made me think of the toys that Sid messes with in Toy Story.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, now I can't unsee that, but yeah, okay.
You're welcome.
The little like baby doll head and the
right?
The spider legs.
100%. That's what I think every time I see Maul like that.
And now that's all I will ever see. Okay.
I apologize,
All right.
Sam Witwer.
She apologizes, but she doesn't really apologize. All right. Question 2. What's your favorite movie outside of your fandom?
Ooh.
Oh, I already have an answer for that. There's no thought necessary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ben, go first.
Treasure Planet.
Oh,
Nice.
It's Treasure Planet. Come on.
Yeah, nice.
Just
Okay.
everything about that movie, the animation, the story, the music, just the whole thing. Everything in that movie is perfect. There's not a single bad thing about that movie, aside from how it was advertised and why it was allowed to fail.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that
God,
little
that
arrow,
movie's so good.
the narrow window where Disney had Treasure Planet and Atlantis was just, those were great.
Well, yeah, because they were trying to transition to 3D animation, but they were like, hey, we already funded these things, just do it, we don't care.
Yeah.
Treasure Planet, Atlantis, and there was another, I'm trying to remember the other movie. There was another 2D movie. Oh, wasn't it El Dorado? Yeah, El Dorado. The Road to El Dorado all came out at around the same time, and Disney just let them tank.
Which is funny because all three of them are
the best movies they've made.
Huh.
Which one? Those
but
get
they were
quoted
transitioning
so much
over
in
to
our
3D
house.
animation because everything past that, Toy Story, Incredibles, Monster Inc., like that's But yeah, Treasure Planet, hands down. There's
all right.
Not
that's
even
a very solid answer. No, that's a very solid answer.
Very solid answer.
All right,
So,
John.
The first thing that popped into my head when I saw this, down Periscope.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, nice pick. Yeah. Good choice.
It's ridiculous and stupid, and I can put it on and just watch it and have fun, you know? And the humor is right up my alley.
Didn't we make a down Periscope reference in our last Star Wars game?
Yes.
It was either the last one or the one prior to that, yeah.
Yes, I talked about having to connect the wires, and I went,
yes, you did.
Hang on, let me just. All right, you're connected.
Because I started watching the campaign from the beginning, and at the end of the first section, we asked Tim what he thought, and he said it wasn't what he expected. It's like, so what were you were expecting Hunt for Red October, and you got down Periscope instead. It's like you started playing D&D, you expected Lord of the Rings, and you got Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I mean, Monty Python is a D&D campaign that they just went, you know what? Things are too off the rails. To hell with it. The cops show up and arrest everybody. That's
they ran
it.
out of money.
We're done.
They ran out of money.
Spoiler alert, Ben. Jeez.
Most ones beat my sister.
Oh, I'm sorry. The movie is like almost 40 at this point.
If not older than that.
If not.
When did it come out?
I honestly don't remember.
It was in the late
I know it was
70s.
financed by like Pink Floyd because they needed a tax loophole.
1975.
Thank you.
Oh, God.
It's almost 50.
Yeah.
It's 49 years old.
Next year's the 50th anniversary. We should do
we
comic
should.
track or something.
Ooh, let's do a watch party for it on our 50th.
Oh,
On its
yeah.
50th.
We should do that.
Either
That'd be
that or
fun.
we could do a Monty Python like one shot for the Holy Grail and see what happens.
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
Oh God.
All right, so Kathleen, what's your favorite?
So I'm gonna have to go Knight's Tale.
Oh yeah. That's
Okay.
Knight's Tale. It's one that I wore the DVD out of.
I forgot you could do that.
You can burn straight through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You watch it too many times, the laser will just melt a hole in it.
Yup. I did that
Technology.
with right. I did that with my copy of Knight's Tale. But like it was what got me interested in Renfest.
Mhm.
And then when John and I got together and John's like, "Hey, so I want to take you to the Renaissance Festival." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that or not." And he's like, "You've seen Knight's Tale, right?" "Yeah." "It's like that." "Okay, I'm game. I'll go." And I actually saw I'm go. Yes.
I go.
I'm so
I
excited
go now.
I'm so excited that why use many word when few word do trick.
You were just excited that I wasn't wearing pants.
Does help significantly. I have said it before and I will say it again. Marriages work best when people don't wear pants.
Can confirm.
Tell me that I'm
yeah.
wrong, Tim.
I'm not. No. There's no disagreement here. None. Zero.
It's right up there with the advice that we got when we were engaged. That
Oh no.
this advice was to always argue naked.
If an argument starts, just start stripping.
Because then you're not going to argue in public. You're not going to argue in front of people. And you're already one step closer to making up.
That's interesting.
In addition
Hey,
to the fact that
baby, you want to argue?
Right, if you're in the
Just
middle
gonna
of an
cause
argument
problems on purpose.
if you're in the middle of an argument and your significant other starts taking their pants off, are you really going to be continuing to focus on what you were arguing on?
Well, at least
Normally,
half
I
of
lose
that
focus
argument's going to stop. The other half is going to keep going.
I normally start losing focus if the top comes off first. So just saying.
Right?
Okay, but there have actually been times where that didn't work. And that's when we know it's bad.
But it keeps you from arguing in front of people. It keeps you from arguing in public.
I mean, the better advice, that still clearly it works for you guys. But the better advice that I heard is that the husband should always have the last word, and it should always be "yes, dear."
Right?
That's it. I know that's terrible.
Oh,
It's right up there with the fact that it's very clear in the Bible that the man should make coffee. There's an entire book, Hebrews.
makes the coffee.
No, that's in the Torah.
The bedside? No.
Okay, so
The
anyway,
Hebrews is not in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament. It's in the Torah.
Right?
wow.
Hebrews.
All right, so
Insert
Oh my gosh, so
sponsor
much to
for our
cut
coffee
out.
company here.
all right, so I already forgot what your favorite movie was.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. Okay, so Knight's Tale, Treasure Planet. John, what did you say yours was?
Down Periscope.
Down Periscope. Okay, so for
Tim,
me,
is yours Star Wars?
no, I can't pick one in Star Wars. Remember?
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
So
Right, the
I'm
rule
having to
is
go
right in
outside-
front of me.
yeah, exactly. It's almost like somebody put it up on the screen. So here's my problem: is that I have outside of the fandom, it's hard for me to pick one movie specifically where I go, "Oh man, I want to watch this movie," or "Oh man, I want to watch that movie." Consistently
Cats?
every time.
It's
It
Cats.
is never Cats. It will never be Cats. Look at my fancy butthole.
Wait, hang on. Which version of Cats?
2019.
None of them.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
The
But
other version is way better.
No, it's not. There's no plot.
But there's also no fancy buttholes.
there does not need to be a plot.
There's
Anyway.
a lack of CGI buttholes.
Oh Jesus, take the wheel. Anyway,
He didn't exist
but
with
really,
cancer.
He doesn't know how to drive.
He's too busy turning more water into wine because he can't deal with us.
This is what you get. This is what you get for trying to interview us.
this is what I get, and that's okay. All right, but it comes
Anyway.
down to like one of a couple movies, honestly.
Okay.
It's either, and they're all they're either music or sports related, and I have to give you three because honestly, it's going to rotate between these three.
Okay.
That Thing You Do.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Our choice.
Absolutely love that movie. It's a movie I can watch anytime, anywhere, no matter what. The movie Empire Records, just because it has so many 1990s feels for me, and it's a lot of just a lot of cool kind of memories. And then finally, the movie The Natural with Robert Redford.
I've never even heard of that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, okay. So it's based off of a book, and the book and the movie are two complete. This is one of those things where we could do, whereas the movie is different from the book drastically. Like the book has a dark ending, but the movie's it's not great, but it's got a happy-go-lucky ending at the end of it. But it's all about a guy who, growing up, he was the natural when it came to baseball. He was going to be the best ever. And, something happened and his career got derailed, and he came back to it late in life, and everybody was like, wow, this guy's amazing. But because he was a natural at it. And it's just a really, really good movie. A lot of people, there's a lot of faces in that movie that you would recognize, and a lot of actors and things. It's a really cool movie. You don't have to know or understand baseball to enjoy the movie.
I think
We
I
have
have
to give
seen
his
this
top three. I
movie.
feel like the rest of us should get to go through and give our top threes as well.
But
if you want to, I don't care.
Well, he's
I
had,
mean, I
he's
basically
had time to
gave
think
my
about
top
it.
three.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you did.
Because, Knight's Tale is the one that I will always watch. But then there's Water for Elephants, which I
Nice.
love so much.
Never watched it.
It's
okay.
It's better than okay.
It's no cats.
And then I think the third one would be The Help.
Oh, yes.
I love that movie so much.
I've actually never seen that either. I've intended to.
It is fan-freaking-tastic.
Oh,
I've heard.
I can look at chocolate pie in the face. I just...
So, funny story about The Help is we were getting ready. It was the summer that the movie was coming out, so they had re-released the book with the movie poster title. And we were getting ready to go camping, and I had gone to the store, and I bought a copy of the book for my mom with the, hey, I bought this for you to read on vacation. My mom, I kid you not, hands me the copy of it she had bought for me.
Nice.
For the same reason.
Huh.
Yeah, needless to say, I'm really careful about desserts at family dinner.
You think? I've heard that story from the movie. I think it's probably safe for you to be
Nobody's putting
wary.
your hat either, so I think you're okay.
That's your sister.
She
you
obviously
go.
is known to like you.
Obviously.
Or at least
All right,
tolerate you.
next question. Here we go.
Yeah.
What's one book that everyone should read?
Oh,
Ben, we'll start with
no.
you because the look on your face said you had an
Hang on.
answer.
I do not have an answer.
Hang on. I need to
Wait,
look up
hang on. Okay, I need clarification. Are we talking about a singular book or a series?
Yes.
That does not help me.
Okay.
You gotta work with me here.
Okay. Can we give Ben a second?
Mine-
John's got an answer?
Mine will be a singular book.
Okay. Mine is kind of a cheat because it's a graphic novel.
Still a book.
It's Mouse by
Yeah.
what's this guy's name? Art Spiegelman.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most brutal books I've read.
Isn't that the
Because-
one where it's like, but it's like the
The mice are the Jews and the cats are the Nazis.
yeah, the Nazis. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
I didn't think a comic book could make me cry.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Like, just find it in a library, a bookstore, something, you know. Read it. It'll hurt, but people need it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kathleen, what's yours?
So this is hard. There's a lot of books. There's a lot of books.
This is also true.
I mean, I could go back and I could say The Help, or I could say Water for Elephants, because they're both fantastic books as well. There's that whole wonderful fairy series over there.
Oh no.
Oh lordy.
No, that is definitely not one that I would put on the list. Why is this so hard?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with, and this is kind of a weird answer. I think I have it on the shelf somewhere. I don't know where it is at the moment. Is Margaret Peterson Haddix. She writes young adult books, like middle school aged books, but
Okay.
she has a book called Running Out of Time. It was written in 1995 that I think that everybody could find enjoyment in it. So it's about a young girl named Jessie who believes that she's living in the 1840s. But when diphtheria breaks out, her mother sends her to find help and medicine to cure the disease. Jessie discovers that the world is more dangerous and threatening than she ever could have imagined. So, spoilers, because it's a book that came out 30 years ago. This girl finds out she's been living in a museum.
So it's basically The
I know this
Village.
book.
It is basically The Village, and it's totally what The Village was based off of.
Because I love the premise of The Village. I think that'd be a fun read.
But it is so good.
Okay.
She also has an entire series called the Shadow Children series that I also would highly recommend. About an illegal third-born child in a world where you're only allowed to have two.
Okay.
And all of the very strange things that happen with that.
Okay. Ben, what's yours? Did you think of it yet?
Oh god. Okay, so I have two answers because I don't know. Okay, there's the typical one that I'm going to say, which is literally anything Tolkien. Hobbit,
Fair
Lord of
enough.
the Rings, Silmarillion especially. Beautiful. Everything about the Silmarillion is beautiful. Incredibly
Okay.
complicated.
Yeah.
But it's great. It is a great read. The one that I don't think anyone would expect is I had a very long stint of reading Westerns, and West of Dodge. West of Dodge is an anthology of Louis Lamar.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I read that book at least 10 times over before I eventually lost it. But it's such a good read because I think there's like 15 different stories in that book, and they're all beautiful. So.
Okay, cool.
Weird answer, but there you go.
No, I like them both. Okay. So I had two books in mind, but I'm really going to settle on one. And I think just because it was so formative for me as a young man, but I think it has a lot of possibility of informing life decisions for people as they get older. And it is like Kathleen's book, it is a YA based book, but the book is called Bridge to Terabithia.
Oh.
All right. No, you can shut it right there. I'm not crying again.
I'm being dead serious though. That book was that was a huge imprint on me
such a good book.
as a young man. Yeah.
I only saw the movie and still, oof.
The movie's rough. The movie is very rough. The book's not much. I mean, that's the one thing that movie is actually very similar to the book. There are, of course, some things they cut because movie time and all those things. But when I was growing up, though, me and my friends, he lived out on this one river. There was a little island in the middle. We knocked over trees. We called the island Terabithia. That was the bridge to Terabithia. We went out to Terabithia all the time. I have a lot of good memories because of that book, not necessarily, but there's a lot of things that happen in that book that make you look at your relationships, your friendships, the meaning of life, the meaning of the people around you, all those things. So although it is not a happy book, it is a very good book. It's a very thought-provoking book, especially for a young mind, I think. And so, yeah, Bridge to Terabithia.
That was the first
and I'm not going to
cry.
That and Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh yeah.
That was awful.
I saw the movie Bridge to Terabithia long after forgetting that I read the book. So I saw it in theaters too. I get in there.
Oh no.
And I get locked in effectively, and I'm just like, oh, why is this so familiar? Oh no. And it all floods in.
The realization. Oh no. Yeah. When that came out, I didn't get a chance to see it.
Swing over on the rope. I'm like, wait a minute. Nice.
Having flashbacks.
So I didn't get a chance to see it in the theater. I rented it back, when there's like family videos and things. I rented the DVD, came home. My in-laws were here visiting for the weekend. I walked in the door. I said, hello, I'm going to go watch a movie. And no, nobody can watch it with me. Walked straight to my room, shut and locked my door, watched the movie and cried. So I was like, because I know I'm going to cry. I know it's going to be a sad movie, but this has to happen.
Like the one time I watched Marley and Me.
Oh, dear God, no.
So that was me during A Dog's Purpose.
Oh.
I am Sam. Bald like a baby. Oh,
I'm
my God.
slightly concerned for Crypto in the new Superman.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, they're not going to kill that dog.
No,
absolutely not.
We riot at dawn if anything happens to Crypto.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like when John's like, "Did you watch the new Superman trailer?" I'm like, "No," because I heard that Crypto's in it, and I don't want to get attached.
Well, that's the thing.
He's in that trailer for 5 seconds, and 3 seconds in, you're like, "Yeah, I love him. He's so cute." Yeah.
There's no way that they're going to kill that dog. One, because it's Crypto the super dog.
Yeah.
That thing is just as tanky, if not more tanky than Superman. The other thing is that it's entirely based off James Gunn's new dog. You think he's going to kill his dog in his movie? No. Absolutely not. That dog will be unscathed the whole time. That being said, there is a panel from the comics that if they do not put that in the movie, I am going to be so angry. There was a plot line in which people were terrified of Crypto because it's a dog with all of Superman's powers.
Yeah.
And of course, I think the reason people were afraid is because he threw a car because he wanted to play fetch. And people were scared and all this stuff and a lot of people were like, hey, you need to put your dog down. Superman gets swarmed by something and starts getting destroyed. And then Crypto, not Superman, Crypto saved the day. And then Superman, in front of the entirety of Metropolis, just went, this is Crypto, this is my dog, and he is a good boy. And I'm just like, buddy, please. If they don't do that in the movie, I'm going to be so pissed.
Crypto,
he is my dog, and he is a good boy.
See, I'm like, when I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch it because of Crypto, and John's like, well, they can't kill him. He's Superman's dog, and I'm like, yeah, but they killed Superman.
Yeah, but Crypto's got plot armor, so he'll be all right.
I don't think Crypto has ever died in the comics.
No. It's not like when they killed Chewbacca's dog.
You mean Han Solo?
Yep.
Too soon. Too soon.
Too soon.
It's been
It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, still too soon. Han Solo's my favorite character. Too soon.
Okay.
Anyway, next
Moving
question. Moving on. Rude. All right, fun fact or a story about you.
Oh,
hate
God.
you. I'm gonna punch you.
Oh,
Do this to us. That's okay.
This
It
is like
doesn't
a
have to be-
icebreaker question.
It is. It really is. I'll go first if you want me to.
Yes, it's your
This is
turn.
like a job interview kind of a thing.
Okay. So, a couple years back, because and this is easier to show because it's winter. But a couple years back, I had this really bad spider bite, and it was on my middle finger right there.
Not your
You can see
spider
the
bite
scar.
Uh-huh.
I did not get any superpowers or cool things, but I was able to display the bite on the finger quite well to quite a lot of people. And anytime anybody asks about it, I get to flip people off without being rude because I'm like, look, there's my injury. It's right there. Because during the winter months where the incision was, the skin always kind of cracks and breaks around that, no matter how much I keep lotion on it. But if we want a part two, I am double jointed in one spot on my body.
Oh, your thumb can do the wave all by itself. Whoa.
No, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Shouldn't do that.
It is a little bit more difficult, mainly because my hands have been put through so much that they have like terrible arthritis.
And this is when we
I have to pop my fingers in order to do that again. But
I'm just waiting for the phone snap sound to come through Tim's mic.
Right.
Just be like, hang on, let me. Just be like, hey, we're gonna cut this short. I gotta go to the ER.
I will keep recording.
And scene. All right.
I did have a friend that they could flex their hand and make their fingers like do the grip thing, but backwards.
Oh, I know. There was a guy I went to school with who could do that too. Ugh.
Yeah.
I regret putting this question in. Okay, moving on.
He also did the perfect like creepy Wicked Witch of the West hand too.
Oh.
Can we move on to not gross things? Okay.
So I do actually have a story, and this is going to be so incredibly. I'm going to tell this tale, and everyone's going to go, "That's completely made up," and I wish that was the case. So, during like high school years, me and my friends being absolute nerds, and during the heyday of Marvel, we were the Avengers. We would literally go to each other's houses in full costume and do nothing.
Yeah, sounds like the Avengers.
But being in Long Island, in New York, one of the things we would do is just get in a car, pick a direction, and drive. So we go out all the way near, like the tail end of Long Island. I don't exactly remember. Was it the North Fork? No, it was near Riverhead, I think. New Yorkers, you'll understand. Either way, we were going all the way out. This was probably like 2 a.m. Pitch black. Off in the distance, there is a tree covered in what looks like Christmas lights. So we're like, hey, that looks interesting. Let's go check it out. This tree covered in Christmas lights is in the middle of a little woodland area. It's not like someone's property. It's not like a house or anything. It's just out in the middle of the woods. We go out there in, again, dressed as the Avengers. There is a group of people standing around this tree in either black or like very dark maroon-ish red robes.
Oh boy.
And there is a burlap sack that is moving next to this tree.
Oh no.
There was a bunch of people going to sacrifice a goat.
Oh no!
So, me and my friends are in the bushes watching this and going, let's get out of here. this is creepy. We had one person, it was my friend Tom's girlfriend was back in the car. She was getting impatient, honked the horn. And all of these hooded figures just go in our direction. Now, mind you, it is me, my friend Steve, and my friend Tom. I am dressed as Captain America. Imagine pre-serum Steve Rogers. That's what I looked like.
Wait, so Steve was not Cap?
No, I
Okay.
was.
All right.
Steve was
Spider-Man was
Iron
Cap.
Fist.
Oh, okay.
This was like before Netflix Iron
Okay.
Fist, so it was actually like the Iron Fist. And then my friend Tom was Thor. Tom had a giant wood Mjolnir that we bought at Comic-Con like the year prior. Steve is a third-degree black belt, or at the time was a third-degree black belt. It was significantly bigger than that. It was like, the head of it was like this big. It was huge and heavy.
It's not
And
how
me,
it's how you use it.
I painstakingly made a Captain America shield out of plywood to where I actually sanded it to have the curve. I made it like beautifully smooth. Everything was great about it. Anyway, all the people in the hoods turn to us. They see us. We now have to run. They chase us down.
Okay.
Our Thor is literally just like clocking people with the hammer. Our Iron Fist is just straight up doing as much kung fu karate stuff as he can because he actually knows how to fight. Me, being I think I was like even shorter. I think it was like 5'5" and just like that thin. I'm like army crawling my way to this sack that's next to the tree. I pop it open. There is a goat inside. The goat immediately screams at me, now driving the attention back in the other direction towards me. I kick the goat out of the bag and I hightail it out of there. We are now running towards the car. The car is a Jeep. It's like summertime, so there's no top on it.
Okay.
We scream at our friend's girlfriend to be like, hey, start the car, let's drive, go, 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 go. They start pulling away slowly. Our Thor jumps in. Our Iron Fist jumps in. And I'm running so slowly behind, trying to get into the Jeep. The person that was next to the burlap sack when we were originally hiding, they had one of those like snake daggers.
Ooh.
Yeah, they tried to stab me with it.
Okay.
Shield goes up. The knife literally just goes straight through, cracks the thing in half. I throw half of the shield away, throwing the knife with it. I have now half of a shield on my arm, and I dive bomb into the back of the Jeep, and we speed out of there. That is a true thing that happened.
I would
And
love
it
to hear
sounds
this story.
so incredibly made up. I wish it was, but that is a legitimate thing that has happened to me.
I would absolutely love to hear the story from the hooded figure's perspective as well.
Yeah, just like in the middle of a satanic ritual and the Avengers show
Here
up.
we were, just trying to sacrifice a goat, minding our own business, and who shows up but the Avengers?
Here we were just trying to make dinner. We were just cold, so we had our robes on.
Yeah, cold in the middle of July. I think it was July.
You never know. Some people are frail.
I know it was summer because
bad
we were
blood flow.
between years of high school. I think it was like 11th to 12th grade.
So
We
what
were
year was
so
that?
dumb.
Roughly
We were
what-
so dumb. And now I have taken it and kind of like written it as a rule of my life of if you see something incredibly ominous in the distance, leave. Don't go near it. Leave.
It's a solid rule, if we're being honest.
So Ben's younger than me. So what would that have been? Like 20?
How old are you?
32?
We're the same age. I
Okay.
think we're like a couple months apart.
I think I'm still technically older than you, but like it doesn't matter.
I'm
So, like, what? That would've been,
September
like-
93, so.
August of 92, so
Oh, okay, then you are literally just over a year older than me.
So yeah, like that would have been like what, 2010?
2009, 2010, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Nuts.
Oh no, yeah, because it was 2010 because people like Marvel started coming out, all these things, and everyone was like, "Oh, this Marvel hero is going to get a movie. This one's going to get a movie." Half of them didn't. So.
Right.
Was it then? No, I'm completely wrong. I'm sorry. This was after the Avengers. We graduated. I think this was like 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2012.
Okay. I'm just trying to put it in the timeline of
Perspective.
That was 12 years ago.
my
Wow.
Windows machine was built then. Yeah.
Okay. All
Sorry,
right.
that was
Moving
a
on.
really
Next question.
long-winded story of just like
I loved it.
Well,
I
that's only the first of the four of us to answer that question.
No,
Sorry, second. Tim answered first. So John and
I
I
didn't
both.
think you
yeah,
actually
Tim's was
wanted
boring.
to.
So
Mine was boring, and I just didn't think you actually wanted to answer it. I was trying to give you a way out, but if you're going to circle back, then let's do it.
Well, I feel like there's enough stuff that John could tell.
No. Okay, so first of all, my goat story will be Patreon only because there is a goat story, but I'm not telling it for just everybody.
all right, that makes it sound so sus, my guy. You gotta.
It is.
Tim's heard it.
No, that's worse.
It is
We're
super sus.
Yeah, it's where the men are men and the sheep are scared.
So yeah, a fun fact or story about me. I don't like it when you make that sound. Do you have something about
I'm sure
yourself?
Kathleen has one about you.
Yeah, now
Oh, I have a lot about him that he doesn't want me to tell.
That's a book. We should write a book about me.
I was just thinking about like your dad's friends when you were a kid and the things you learned about them later. And
Oh lordy. Okay. So going back even further in life, I mean, we're going to go back to like the late 1900s, the 1980s. My dad,
John was cool.
I was not cool at this.
Back to the dawn of time.
So, my dad had this friend who supplied him with. It's one of the things that you're not supposed to talk about in the Deadpool movie. Let's call it nose candy.
Recreational.
And we would end up at this guy's house on a weekly basis. And come to find out later, when I'm thinking about things, like, man, Sandman had this room of really cool stuff. Everything was like metal, and there were eagles, and I'm trying to figure out what that cross thing was. And why was he teaching me to speak German?
So for context, I need to just for posterity.
Yeah.
No, you've already figured it out.
Oh, okay.
Your father was getting powdered sugar from a Nazi.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was his pusher man was a Nazi donating the booger sugar. Yes.
Yeah. And so when it was time for like things to like go the adult direction, when it wasn't okay for the kids to be out in the room anymore, all the kids would go upstairs and we'd watch, wholesome family movies. We'd watch Goonies, we'd watch Star Wars, we'd watch The Terminator, Lost Boys, all this kind of stuff.
Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong. Well, we could watch that
The
downstairs.
1933 German inauguration, whatever.
Yeah. Probably my favorite thing about that house, though, because it was huge. It was almost like a compound now that I'm thinking about it.
Because it was a compound.
Because it was totally a compound.
The pond out back was massive. Shush. And what was weird was the end of it was like
the bodies kept floating to the
shapes, and then it was like these two big circles, and then this long shape that was kind of rounded at the other end. And it wasn't until Google Earth became a thing that I figured out what it was. And so, before I was 6, this was where I was.
So
he had a
the
wiener-shaped
Nazi,
pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to call it a pecker pond, but
I like that better. Wiener. It's either wiener water or pecker pond. It was one of the two.
well,
Which
the
is
wiener water
feasible.
sounds. The wiener water can be confused with hot dog water.
How many more times we get that to say
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better or worse than the adolescent Avengers.
It was not hot dog flavored water. I can assure you of that.
The good old hot dog soup.
Oh man, I will send you guys a picture of this place because you can still see it.
I was gonna say I thought they had dug the pond out bigger.
Google Earth actually does have like, I don't want to say like a historical setting, but you can go through the versions of Google Earth and hope to find it.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. All right.
Hang on, Tim's dying.
We knew we were going to kill you one of these times, Tim, but oh, there it is.
Right,
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is.
Is it still very much?
Yeah.
Does it curve
So,
to the left or
Kathleen-
the right?
Oh my God, why?
Jesus.
So, fun fact
Kathleen,
about Kathleen is that she loves instigating things.
No.
I mean,
We are all shocked by this revelation.
if you want to know,
I'm crying.
my fun fact, other fun fact is I have insomnia and a Google addiction, so I can actually tell you why they curve to either the right or the left.
Oh,
No.
Family
no,
friendly, everybody.
so okay.
That's for Patreon.
The actual
Make it
Kathleen
OnlyFans.
fun fact that I will go with is my senior year of high school. I was
no.
forced to take government and econ.
Oh no.
Had to take them to graduate.
Please tell me you started an anarchist revolution.
No,
Oh,
I helped write a bill that my teacher actually sent to the Michigan Senate that got passed. So it was the indoor smoking ban that the group that I was in my government class actually got our bill to the House floor in Lansing, and they altered it, they amended it, but they did technically take our bill and pass it into law.
Oh, interesting.
In addition to the fact that I aced my president's quiz in 2.5 minutes, my government teacher thought that I had cheated. And when because I went to hand him my test and I told him I was done, he's like, "There's no way that you can be done that fast." I'm like, "Look at it." He's like, "Well, you've got all of this right. How did you do that?"
Rob Paulson.
No,
No.
Nickelodeon.
Oh.
mhm.
Because it was an election year,
Mhm.
and Nickelodeon had the president's song as a commercial, and I had memorized it.
I
And
know
passed-
exactly what you're talking about,
Yes.
too.
Passed my government presidents of the United States test in 2.5 minutes because of a Nickelodeon cartoon. And then got extra credit for singing it in front of the class.
There
That
you go.
is-
Oh yeah, Kathleen
That
can
is
actually
exactly how I passed Norse mythology in high school, is because of Thor comics.
Nice.
Solid.
And yes, Kathleen
All
can
right.
actually sing. I was also a spoon at one point.
What? Hang on. That needs context.
I was a chorus member in my high school's production of Beauty and the Beast. And I was a spoon.
Oh, and you were the spoon.
I was a spoon.
That makes so much more sense. Okay.
Context
Like-
is important, kids.
4
'cause
foot
I'm like,
tall spoon top.
So you
sticking
were
out
you
the
were the
back.
big spoon?
I was the big spoon. I know. Which was also fun because the knife and the fork that I was partnered up with during the battle scene, the fork and I picked the knife up and charged the villagers with a giant knife.
Nice.
Hey, wait, don't we have a
That's-
DVD in that door?
We do, and I am not in it at all.
Lies.
No,
right.
no. Like I've watched it, and every time I'm on there over at the other side of the stage looking at other people, I completely missed in it.
Okay, fine.
I know.
All right,
Tim-
next question.
No, Tim, do you want to amend or add to the fun fact or story about you? Because the three of us have had like ridiculous nonsense. The most you have is you can flip people off without consequence.
Okay, fine. When I
It's
was
still nice, but
15, my buddy and I decided that we would make pipe bombs.
Did you have the anarchist cookbook that you downloaded off the internet?
No, because the internet back then was a 28.8 baud modem with it would take forever. It would still be downloading if we were trying to do that.
It did take forever.
to this
No,
day.
we just learned how to make them through trial and error.
Lord.
Lots of errors, and somehow we're still alive. The closest call we had was we took some PVC. Exactly, no problem whatsoever. But no, we were out and we took some metal PVC pipe and we had both. I'm not going to say what all we did because I don't want people to copy it. But we had some metal PVC
Maybe we should
piping.
leave that part out.
Yeah, I'm not going to include it. The pipe was about yay long, and we had a wick that we had stuck out that was about yay long, and we gave ourselves an extra long wick because the plan was that we were going to put it in this stump. We were going to blow the stump to smithereens, and we sat there and we sat there and we sat there and we were like, that should have gone off by now. Don't you think that should go off by now? We got about halfway there. The stump blew up, and we were picking slivers out of our arm for a good couple days.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's as much of that story as I'm going to tell here because I don't want those things
Don't get
copied.
on the no-fly list.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
if you look over here, you can see a complete chemical breakdown of what was used.
Exactly what we will not be talking about.
It's not like you and your best friend lost your homemade napalm somewhere in their parents' garage.
John.
Technically speaking, I have not lost napalm. I have lost thermite. That is still somewhere in my family's garage.
Are they aware of this?
Somewhere in the United States.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, let's. I made them aware of it at the moment, which was roughly 15, 16 years ago at this point.
Okay, there are
It's
things
been
I
a
want
long
to
time since we've cleaned out the garage.
things I want to Google now, but I'm not going to because I don't want the FBI watching through my webcam. Anyway,
Oh, I guarantee we're all of us are already on.
we're already
some kind
there.
of list.
We're already
I
there.
feel so bad for the NSA agents that are forced to listen to us.
Right?
I mean, the amount of times an FBI agent has like zoned in on my computer because I'm looking up the most just insane nonsense, but all for D&D.
I know, right? Writers and game masters or dungeon masters have the weirdest search histories. You know,
Yeah.
somewhere I have a table of how long it takes to drain the blood out of different animals.
Yeah. I've had to figure that out too, unfortunately. Or the like the payload
I am
equivalent
so worried
of
right
a
now.
level 9 fireball.
Is
Like,
that
what
why?
would that be in like megatons?
Yeah.
Is that why the reaction to that medication I was on you said sounded like you were draining the blood out of a moose?
Yes.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Also. Anyway, other stories later.
All right.
We should-
Next question.
Let's
We'll
go on
do
to
a
the next
whole-
one before the FBI
We'll
comes.
do a whole
after us.
story. Yeah, we'll do a whole story time sometime. That'll be a
Oh.
Patreon only thing. Okay.
Make
Next,
the NSA agents pay for our content.
pop culture quotes
Oh.
you use every day.
Shiny.
Inconceivable!
You
Don't
keep
think
saying
that
that
means
word. I do not think it's what you think it means.
that one I frequently use on our kid.
Oh man. Okay, so once I use it,
I
works,
love
but
you. I
Go.
know.
Although, as of last night, and I told John this, we were watching part of the Critical Role Christmas special with Daggerheart, and at one point, Laura Bailey was trying to encourage her character, and all she yelled was, "Get it together, Bethany!" And I can't unhear that now, and I told John that's going to be my new affirmation.
Okay, let's see.
Nice.
The one I do from Critical Role is just make him a whip
Right? Or
every time. every single time. Doesn't matter what game, doesn't matter anything. The moment I'm in actually quite a few D&D games. One of them is run by my younger brother. The amount of times he says, you start making your way, and then all of us just go, Mega Boy! Every time he stops, dead, like middle of the sentence, looks into camera. So you continue on down into the city.
Nice.
He hates it so much, but it's gotten to a point where he says it, pauses, waits for us, and then continues.
I get it.
The other one I use almost probably every day is from a pop culture. It's a pop culture reference from a movie that I don't even like, but I can't help myself from not saying it.
Huh.
Okay, bye.
Yep.
I've been doing a lot of like cool. Okay. Like,
We do the cool. The kid does the cool now too, which is hilarious.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has become our like nighttime watching. Let's see, ones that I use.
All right.
I do that not because of Matthew McConaughey. I do that because of Drifter.
Yeah.
Same thing with whether we wanted it or not. For those who don't know, my unfortunate addiction to a thing that I hate with every fiber of my being but cannot stop playing is Destiny.
Huh.
So, yeah. Anyway.
I understand that.
I don't know. Sometimes I think my entire life is pop culture quotes.
Well, yeah.
It kind of is.
It kind of is, yeah. You know, I've looked at my daughter and done the "Don't make me destroy you."
But of course, yeah.
I mean, obviously, she doesn't appreciate how evil Vader is. Yeah, she still thinks Lego Vader is the coolest thing, and he's silly.
Because Lego Vader doesn't he order tacos? Yeah.
Just I don't know what.
There's so many that it's hard to keep track of which ones we do and don't use.
I mean, at this point, it's just what we say. It's not even a reference anymore. It just is part of our vocabulary.
It's part of the vernacular at this point. It's kind of like, I always will say, this is the way because of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure, because of Skeleton Crew, I will now be starting to say, can't say I remember no, and Atten, every time I forget something. So,
yeah.
That's going to be a thing.
By the way, I have spoken is not a good way to try to have the last word with your spouse.
Nope.
That being said,
or your child, it really doesn't work for the child either.
Yeah, but it is still an incredible thing to say after like a really intense dialogue. You just have whatever it is that you need to get off your chest, and I have spoken.
Mm-hmm. Although the one did I stutter?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one at work. I love that one at work.
The other day at work, the other day at work, one of the guys had something fall off of one of the cars, and he moved, and I yelled out, "If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball."
Oh yes.
I do the most impressive.
Yep.
From Vader. Yeah. And very similar to the dodging, if something like falls off the counter and you quickly catch it, just to like just the Bully McGuire.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
But also
and there's a lot of Samuel Jackson ones that I just cannot repeat on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the limit does not exist.
She doesn't even go here.
Can't you just ask people why they're black? I mean, we can't just ask people why they're white.
English, mother. Do you speak it?
Or the one that I use from Critical Role. It's again.
It's again. Yes.
It's again. Help! It's again.
Oh, poor Caduceus.
There's one I use from Alan Tudyk from the movie Death at a Funeral.
Oh,
whenever I get a lot of money set out in front of me. It's so green. Everything's so green. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking that's the Alan Tudyk.
I went to Juilliard, for Christ's sakes.
If we're just talking like Alan Tudyk, I am here to rescue you. Do not resist.
Oh,
yeah.
Either that or I am a leaf on the wind.
I joked about saying I'm a leaf on the wind in the OR the last time I had surgery when they were pushing the beds. I'm like, I am a leaf on the wind.
Wait.
No, I saw.
Wait. You want a slinky dress? I can get you a slinky dress. Captain, can I have money for a slinky dress?
Now I gotta go watch
I
Firefly.
shouldn't be allowed to adult.
I have
need to go watch Firefly
unironically
again.
said shiny so many times.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, for sure.
There's so many.
Shiny
that
wizard.
and like
That's so wizard.
Saying like I have a powerful need to eat. Whenever someone says like, "Why do you work?"
Or
like that's straight from Mal Reynolds.
I swear by my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you.
Yeah,
such a good one.
From video games,
I've used the I see you have boom boom sticks from Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah.
What?
I love that movie so much.
I mean, there's so many just pop culture facial expressions. Every time you see me go, that's me trying to do like the Kermit the Frog, like scrunch face. Yeah. Every time. So if you see that, imagine just Kermit the Frog.
And then, I mean, of course, there's our own made pop culture reference of math.
Math. You're welcome, everybody.
Yep. All
right. Here is our next question is possibly the most important question of the evening.
Oh no.
This is a big one. I need 3 reasons that the Ring of Power is so much better than the Lord of Rings.
Oh, all right. Goodbye, everybody.
Oh.
Okay. So I feel like I'm arguing with somebody on Reddit already.
You've upset the neighbor's dogs.
Yeah, the dogs started howling when you asked that question.
Yeah, they felt a disturbance.
I did that purely for Ben.
Someone thinks this utter garbage is better than just pure gold.
I wanted to let Ben know that I missed him and that, I thought of him.
If it gets them into the franchise and they read the books and they
yeah.
Cool.
But it is not better. It will never be better.
I just needed Ben to know that I thought of them. That's what this was.
Why is 2019
Ben, I thought
best musical adaptation to film ever?
Tim, just to this little hangnail here that I have is making me think of you. Can you see that on your screen? Can you see? I don't know if you can see it on my camera here, but this is
no, I can. It's very
hangnail
visible.
is making me think of you.
It's very visible. Very visible. All right. So for realsies, last question, because we asked this question of everybody in every interview. What's your favorite dinosaur?
Parasaurolophus.
Oh no.
Okay.
Because
that's more like the little trumpet.
They have the little trumpet heads. Yeah, I've got one right there. I just don't want to grab it because
Deinonychus.
The who? Deinonychus?
Yeah, it's the one that they actually based the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park off of because they were big enough for a person to ride.
Okay.
I thought that was a Utah raptor.
Anyway.
What do you mean anyway?
No, but these things were big. Like there was this TV show cartoon when I was a little kid, Dino Riders or something like that, and I actually had the one with like the metal seat that went on this dinosaur's back, and the person would ride on, and they had guns and everything.
Oh yeah,
Master Allen remembers. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure that was the precursor to Zoids. Highly recommend watching that anime. It's really great.
Okay.
I'm having a difficult time picking between the Ankylosaurus and the Therizinosaur. Ankylosaurus because just the fact that that thing is designed to break ankles is fantastic. But the Therizinosaur translates to tickle chicken because it's got like
that's one that
12-inch long claws.
That's the one I still have nightmares about. Thanks, Ben.
See, now I just want to go watch Salad Fingers.
Yeah, let me see if I could pull up a...
Which is a sentence I don't think anybody has ever actually said before.
Salad fingers?
Oh,
No.
Tim, I'll send you links.
There we go.
I don't think
There
I
is
want
Venusaur. Oh, please focus. Come on. It just looks so bad at this blurred angle now. Hang on. Please. That one might be better. But, like, look at those claws.
Yep.
That would be like... Oh, no. That's
Yeah.
like if I had
I'm
bits
good.
at the end of my fingers.
Well, would you look at the time? We're all done here.
What's your answer?
Forever and always Triceratops. Always Triceratops. I've always liked them. As I used to call them as a kid, they were the triple rhino. I always thought rhinos were cool. And they were the triple rhino because they had 3 horns instead of the rhino had the one. So triple rhino is what I called them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Ben,
But
thank
that's
you
it.
for the reference. I've got an idea for a creature I need to build.
Nope. No. So,
Yep.
Hang on. I need my. Where's my neuralizer? I don't have it. Here's a box cutter. Can we get? We need to set up just a quick like hotkey of neuralizer. So whenever stuff like that happens, we just hit a button and it pops up.
Oh.
Oh, man.
The problem is we would send so many people into seizures because we'd be like, boom, boom.
Oh
boom.
yeah, that would. Oh god. Yeah, maybe not. Never mind. I retract that statement.
We retract the previous said statement. But anyway, hey guys, that's all, folks. This is going to wrap up the
Do we have the rights
Get to
for
Know
that?
Your Nerd. Nope, we have no rights to use
Okay.
this. But it's also not audio, so I mean, there's also that. So
And maybe if Kevin Smith sees it, then he'll talk to us.
there's always that. There's hope.
We love you, Kevin.
We do. And I would giggle like a fangirl to talk to you. Anyway, but yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you got to get to know your nerds a little bit. And we'll catch you on the flippity flop and other cool things that people say. They say that, right?
People don't say that.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, and instead I will say, may you live. Boy, I screwed that up. I'm tired. It's bedtime.
Wow.
May the force be with you as you continue to live long and prosper. Bye-bye.
Copyright 2024 FSF PopCast. Reference any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.